Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the next episode of Secrets of the Sire. Apologize to all our Periscope peeps who were viewing us. Oh, there we are. We're back online there. We're also live on Facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire. It's always glad to have you guys. We do this every single week. We talk movies, TV, pop culture, and especially those two tonight. We're going to have a really special show tonight. We're going to have a fun show. You know, it's fun to just kind of have fun with this stuff. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that people love talking about. People love engaging with Comic-Con and comics and movies and TV. I mean, there's nothing better right now around. So we do this every week. We do it Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkingalternative.com. And we're going to have some special guests on tonight. We're actually going to have some fans on. I don't know if they're necessarily fans of the show, but they're fans of me, so that's a nice thing. You know, they kind of have to be, which is good. But they're going to come on, and they're going to debate on the air the best TV shows out there. And it's got to be pop culture related. We'll get to the actual specifics of it in a moment, but I'm going to set some ground rules. I want to know what the best TV show on the air is. Now, obviously, look, we've got the Emmys coming up this weekend. Or is it next weekend? What's today's date? The 14th. So it's this weekend. We have the Emmys coming up. So they talk about the best shows on TV. But the problem with the best shows on TV, and this is why Emmys break it up. They break it up into drama. They break it up into comedy. They break it up into all these different, things. So that's, that's kind of what we're going to do here tonight, though. So when we are debating the best TV shows on the air today, we're gonna focus on the pop culture area. We're gonna break this down into 6 categories, maybe 8. We're gonna do this over the span of the next couple months. It's great fodder for people to kind of talk about and debate, and we're gonna basically kind of get to the bottom. Best pop culture TV shows on the air right now. So that's kind of what we're gonna be doing. We're doing this live on the air. Now, what the fans are gonna do though, they're gonna call up. And I call them fans, but they're people I know, and they're people they're loyal listeners. You too can actually get in onto this fun ride that we call Secrets of the Sire by becoming a Patreon backer. So let's do some house cleaning or housekeeping before we do anything else. Secrets of the Sire is brought to you by all of our beloved patriots. Welcome back, Espada Primera Stark. She was on, or he or she, I don't know which. What up? You guys were on last week, and that was great. Love seeing you guys back again. Love hearing your comments and your commentaries. And at LeeEnd69 joined. We're gonna fix the Periscope feed. It's a little down. Maybe I can get Sam to help me out and just kind of get this thing straight. At Huna. At Who Knew? Who knew? Oh, that's a clever. Name and all that fun stuff. So, but anyway, Secrets of the Sire is brought to you by all of our beloved patrons. We have dedicated fan Einar Peterson and our program director Stephanie Dolce. We have our brand new executive producer Stephen Hovecki, who we introduced last week. We want to welcome dedicated fan Ashley Hakai to the fold, and Uber fan, my sexy wife Christina Dolce, for becoming an Uber fan. She basically pledged an amount that we don't have a reward for, so I'm just going to call her an Uber fan. She kind of owns the show now. I mean, essentially, she owns the show anyway. I want to thank Sam for fixing the Periscope feed. Anyway, that is our patron thing. But if you want your name shouted out on the interwebs, go to michaeldolce.com. It takes you straight to our Patreon page. So I'm your host, Michael Dolce, MichaelDolce.com. Takes you straight to our Patreon page. You could donate $0.25 a show, and I'll give you a shout out on air, just like I did today to all our people. And we'll continue doing it until we have loads and loads and loads of patrons to the point where we'll have to randomly select some folks. But at that point, we'll be kind of huge, so it'll be great, But you'll be recognized on our website as well. You'll be recognized on our Patreon page, our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire. And what kind of rewards can you get? You get really cool rewards. I got to be honest. I've checked out some other podcasts. They're not as good as our rewards. I got to be honest. We have our $1 reward, which you get shout out on air. I mean, how great is that? No one else is ever even doing that. That I looked at. I'm sure someone's doing it, but I'm doing it, and it's much cooler to do it when I do it. $2 patrons get a copy of the show outline before we go to air. They actually got it earlier today. I actually finished my show outline, so they knew exactly what topics we're going to talk about today. We're going to spin the racks when we do this every week. We kind of go through the news and go through all the happenings that are happening in the world of the pop culture universe, comics, movies, and TV. So they knew all that stuff. They knew the fact that they know the 3 shows that our fans are going to call in and debate. So you get to know this before anybody. You also get access to our archives. Chris Cornell, Kevin Bacon. We just did an interview. I just did an interview with Zach Brown Band, one of the guitar members from Zach Brown Band. Awesome interview. Talks about a lot of great stuff. And I have a really, really great guest. Crossing my fingers. It's a bucket list guest. He is both a musician and he's in a new movie. So hopefully I'll be snagging an interview and we'll be able to broadcast that. But again, if you're a patron, on my Patreon page, you will get exclusive access to the full interview. Plus, you'll get to know before I even go. And plus, you'll even be able to send me questions. And if I deem them, interesting enough to ask, I will go ahead and ask. I can't tell you who it is. We haven't locked it down yet, but I'm really excited. So anyway, patreon.com. You can look us up, Secrets of the Sire. My Twitter handle is Michael_Dolce. My Instagram is mdolce64. And don't forget the Secrets of the Sire Facebook page. Finally, and I'll do this throughout the show, catch me at ArtistaCon this weekend. Last week we had the folks from ArtistaCon on to talk about what their con is. It's a different convention. Really great stuff. I'm actually hosting a panel along with Pat Shand, who was a previous guest, Mark Polden, who was a previous guest, and Mark Lombardi, who was a previous guest. You see the tone and the trend that we're going along with this. We'll be hosting a panel about breaking into comics Sunday at 10 a.m., ArtistaCon. Okay, that's the end of that. Gotta pay the bills or try to pay the bills. Welcome at D Strieg. Welcome Espada Primera Stark. I like that. It's such a good name. All right, we are debating the best pop culture TV shows on the air today. We are doing this in a way, again, I'm gonna break it up into genres. We have a poll going on my Twitter page right now. It's at Michael_Dolce. I want you to pick the best Marvel Universe character. We're going to break it up into Marvel. We're going to break it up into DC. We're going to break it up into animated series. We're going to break it up into fantasy, sci-fi, horror. So now we're up to 6 because I can count. And it's great radio because you can't see me actually holding up my fingers and actually counting my fingers right now. But if you're on the Facebook stream, which is live right now, or the Periscope feed, which is live right now, you can see this. You could have gotten an exclusive Google Hangout, which you'd see the entire thing that's going on if you were a $5 patron. But that's how it goes, right? Anyway, we are going to be debating that, and then we're going to do a special category, which is today's category, which is kind of within the realm, but not necessarily fitting those categories. So that's 7 categories we're going to debate. I want the cream of the crop in all of them. So right now the poll that's up there is Marvel characters. We have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and we have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know Luke Cage is coming on, but we haven't seen it yet, and it's not coming on until, I believe it's the end of September or October. So
September 30th, I think.
September 30th. So it's going to,
But you have seen him in Jessica Jones. You just haven't seen him in his own series.
Yeah, but the same thing with Punisher, right? I mean, Punisher's coming out.
Punisher's in Daredevil, yeah.
That's our trusty engineer / guest co-host, Sam, who's jumping on. We actually have Rob Kay from the Rob and Callie Show doing the engineering today. We have a packed house. Yeah. It's actually really great because when our callers call in, they're going to debate, and we have a panel of 3. It's not just my tastes, because if it's my tastes, I know one of the panelists is going to have a really tough time convincing me to watch the show. And the other panelist has a slight edge because I've seen one episode of the show he's going to talk about. So there is like a little advantage. But it's not my taste. It's going to be all 3 of us. We're going to vote, and by the end of the show, we're going to pick a show that I will have to binge watch and get through at least one season of as quickly as humanly possible for next week. So it's actually causing more work for me in the long run. I don't know why I even came up with this idea. This is actually more work for me. That's the opposite of what I want to have accomplished. I want to do as little work as possible. I want to make the most money. I want to, why can't we all just do that, right? I mean, I think that's, this is, all right, take the show off. We're done. No, all right, we're going to keep going here. All right, so again, we're breaking it down into different categories. Tonight's category is going to be special. It's just going to be special categories because, the other thing, too, when you're debating pop culture TV, right? And let me hear from you on Periscope. Let me hear from you on Facebook. I love hearing the comments and stuff like that. Where does a show like Quantico go? Quantico is not necessarily... Quantico is one of my favorite shows, right? Okay. And this is just using this as an example. It's not a pop culture show in the sense of... it was kind of like a spy thing. It was kind of, but it had like all these pop culture references in it, and the characters. It reminded me a lot of other pop culture shows. But I'm not going to count shows like that because then at that point we're blurring the lines, right?
Yeah, because then you have to include Blind Spot or the NCISs.
Exactly. Right. NCIS would not. No way. But Blind Spot, great idea, right? Because it's not quite, pop culture. Ashley Haikai, I love calling her Haikai. I mean, that's okay. But she just chimed in. She loves Quantico. I love Quantico too, but we're going to leave it out of this debate. We're setting the ground rules for this debate. The debate, basically, to me, is anything that can actually happen in the real world. I'm ruling it out as a TV show possibility.
Okay, then what about something like Limitless, which is kind of like on the edge there? It's trying to be realistic, but it's based on something that's still a fantasy.
That's a great subject. I don't know. Maybe we put Limitless in. So again, I want to hear from you guys. We're going to hear from you all week long as well too. Does that count? Does that count as a special genre? I mean, I know we're kind of breaking TV down, but look, I'm not going to get into Transparent. I'm not going to get into Orange is the New Black. I'm not going to get into House of Cards. I just happen to be picking the streaming shows off the top of my head because look, these are all scenarios within real life.
Yeah.
Designated Survivor. Again, it's a real life scenario.
Right.
You know, I guess that's exactly what it comes down to. A Limitless would count because it's a real life scenario with a supernatural, superhuman, something out of the ordinary. There is not a pill today that will unlock the 10% of the brain that we don't, or the 90% of the brain we don't use. In fact, that's a myth. They think that we don't use 90% of our brain. They're actually saying that we probably use it all. We just don't realize or we don't know yet.
Right.
So there's all that stuff. So no, Limitless would count because it is something a little bit stranger. You're right. It's a little bit extra. It's a little bit something. So we're gonna definitely we would count something like that. So this is my call to all you guys. Definitely go and definitely send in your send in whatever TV show you want me to watch, or send me anything you think is the best one out there. But for tonight, we're going to debate some specific ones. And then we're also going to say, okay, we're counting down. This is great. I'm excited. So we're going to welcome 3 fans of pop culture, and they do actually watch the show, and they do actually listen to the show, which is always helpful. And they're going to be coming on in the next 2 minutes. We're also, besides just doing that, we're also going to spin the racks a little bit later. We are going, yes, Christina Dolce just said we're going to, Southern Charm. Yes, that definitely does not count as a TV show. We are going to debate. That is definitely a winner on her end. This is not a winner on our end. That will definitely, well, actually, to be honest with you, that all reality TV show is not real. So I guess technically it would count, but we're not going to count that in this case. Now, Siberia, if anybody ever watched Siberia on NBC, it's a show, it was a fake reality TV show that was set in Siberia, and it's supposed to be like a Survivor. And instead, what they did was they got attacked by this monster when they were out there. So it was actually in the form of a reality TV show, but it wasn't. And we don't know how it ended. That's the worst part. It ended on a cliffhanger. And we have at Alishka Kurakova. She's from Russia. How are you? We are doing great, and we are talking. Yes, it does still keep me on at night. Still keep me up at night to know what happened because it ended on a cliffhanger. And man, we made it. My wife and I we hate watched it by the end. We just needed to know what happened because they just kept dragging it out, and then they ended on a cliffhanger. Awful. We're going to end on a cliffhanger too. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to welcome our 3 panelists. They're going to convince us which show to watch when we return.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Hello, I'm JC.
I'm Joan. And welcome to 21st Century Entrepreneur.
We bring education,
insight,
knowledge,
awareness,
trouble,
craziness, and fun
for you, the entrepreneur who's looking to build your business
and your community. Listen every Friday from noon to 1 Eastern on talkradio.nyc. And you can tweet us at 21st CE Radio or Talk Alternative.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. I want to welcome Mark Brooks, superstar artist, just joined us on Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We do this every week. We talk about movies, comics, TV, music, and pop culture every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkingalternative.com. We also stream our show on our Facebook page, which is where Mark has just joined. Good to see him. Roderick Corp has joined. Welcome at Espada Primera Stark, who's back. We're also on Periscope at Michael_Dolce. Tonight we're having a fun show, okay? We are doing, what up, Mark? We are doing a fun show. We are debating the best pop culture related TV shows on the air. And we got 3 fans calling up right now. One is Keith McCormick. One is Jack O'Donnell. And the other is Jersey Jedi himself, Brian Phillips. So all 3 of them are on the line right now. I want to say hello to all 3 of our callers. Are you guys there?
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Awesome. I love it. I want everyone to talk over each other because that makes the best radio possible. So, all right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go in a line. I am just going to start with that order that I basically said. So, Brian, you're going to anchor everyone. You're going to come in third. Jack, you're going to be number 2. And Keith, you're going to be number 1. You have 1 minute. I'm going to time you somehow with some sort of technology or clock or whatever. And you're going to tell me in a minute. Now, you're not just talking to me. You also have Sam Leibowitz and you also have Rob Kay in the studio as well. So it's all 3 of us. So we have a unilateral judges panel here. It's not just, or I guess it's not unilateral. It's a democracy.
Democratic version.
Unilateral would have been just me.
And it's 3 of us, so one person breaks the tie.
Exactly. No, exactly. That's exactly what we're thinking right here. So, all right. Keith, in 1 minute or less, tell me, A, announce who you are, 2, announce the show that you are going to try to convince us, and then go.
All right. Well, hi, everybody. My name is Keith, and my show that I'm championing for is Stranger Things. If you are a nerd who grew up in the 80s like I did, this is nostalgia porn that you will love. It has all the music. It has everything that you want. Yeah. It is a mix of Steven Spielberg movies like E.T. It's a mix of Stephen King books like Stand By Me, like It. And it's a mix of The X-Files. It's got an amazing cast of adult characters who were stars in the 80s like Winona Ryder and Matt Modine. It's also got a cavalcade of brand new actors who are acting their ass off. It's nothing but great TV. It's got a great villain. It's got vibes that you haven't felt in a while.
And you're up.
It doesn't have the trap.
That's it. Time is up.
Wow, that's quick.
It's a minute. Now, we're kind of doing this on the fly here because we don't prepare for anything. I really don't. It's my show and I don't get to prepare. But you had a lot of great comments coming in from Facebook. First of all, Jack's actual fiance was like, yes, Stranger Things. So, Jack, you're in a lot of trouble. Your own fiance's rooting against you right now. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. Number 2, Mark Brooks thinks overrated. I will weigh in fan reaction. So, again, hit us up on Periscope. Hit us up on Facebook. But overall,
not overrated at all.
But well, you got your time, Keith. You got your time. You settled down there. Now we will return. We'll do a little open debate if we can, if we have time. But very impressive opening. A lot of pressure on Jack. Jack, you are up next. And again, give the tell your name, give the show, and also where it airs because that also helps too. I know Stranger Things is on Netflix. I didn't ask you to do that, but kind of thought about that. It would be pretty cool. So, all right, Jack, you are up and go.
Excellent. Well, my name is Jack, and I am championing for the show Archer on FX.
Okay.
And the great thing about Archer is take the cerebralness from Keith's program, Stranger Things, and then toss it out the window. Because Archer is a spy spoof with a cast that's even better than that, with some of the best players from Arrested Development. You've got Jessica Walter, Jeffrey Tambor, David Cross, Judy Greer, the voice also from Bob's Burgers, John H. Benjamin. And it is a spy spoof that is funny, yet exceptionally witty and smart, and is exceptionally sarcastic, and they go over so many topics that you definitely shouldn't. It's offensive and it's crude, but it's perfect and hilarious at the same time.
3,
And
2,
the animation is
1.
terrific. It's better than the rest of them.
You are up. Now, a couple comments right off the bat. Great point of the Arrested Development cast. Way to tug at my heart, because I think Arrested Development is one of the best shows out there. So that was excellent.
I know you did. Yeah.
And Mark Brooks, agree on Archer. Very witty and intelligent. Writers deserve more credit. Again, we love the fan vote. We have, I forget, on Periscope, who says she just loves me. So immediately, I think she wins the whole thing. You know, that's it. Anybody who anybody who does that is good. Christina will cut her, but that's beside the point. And 2, your fiance is actually back on. She was rooting for you, so she's back on the jack wagon. She's doing that.
Yeah,
so
she
that
still
was...
likes Stranger Things. I still have to get her to watch the show though. So we're there.
She has, but so she's just rooting you on. So she's really okay. So she's not actually
rooting the show.
She's not actually rooting for the show. She's just rooting for you because I basically called her out and was like, you know, she's got to basically support her fiance, but or else, I'll get my wedding gift back soon. No, all right, Jersey Jedi, you are up 3rd. Now I keep eating. Wait, hang on. Before we do anything here, Aliska Kurakova from Russia keeps calling me Justin Bieber and wants to love me.
Ooh.
Hey, is that it? I mean, should I be happy or should I be insulted at the same time? I'm not even
Depends
sure.
if she stalks you or not.
Nervous, and don't give her any credit card information over the
but Mark Brooks loves me too, and that means a lot to me as well too. So we
She might be a Nigerian prince. That is what it sounds like, Keith.
All right, here we go. We've got Jersey Jedi. Now, let me just point out too that Keith and Jack are fans of the show, but Jersey Jedi never misses a show, and he just backed us on Patreon. So he actually has just
Jedi Jersey rocks.
Yeah, essentially, he is buying his way into victory without even which is very smart. So I got to give you a lot of credit for that.
Grift works.
All right.
I didn't know you had to suck up to win.
You see, if you listen to the show, you would know this.
I mean, it's basically, that's like life lessons, right? It's not just like for the show. It's like in general. All right. Here we go. Jersey Jedi, name your name. You don't have to call yourself Jersey Jedi. You're Brian Phillips. You can call it whatever you want. What show you're doing and where is it airing, and go.
My name is Brian Phillips, and my show is Doctor Who, airing on the BBC and replaying on Amazon Prime Video now. The show's been on for 50 years. It allows you, 50 years. It started in 1963. It has a constantly changing cast, but staying in the same realm of the universe of the show. I am not good at this.
But you're already ahead. You pledged the Patreon page. You're already ahead. Go for it.
You have great guest stars on it, like Ian McKellen, Simon Pegg, and Maggie Williams from Game of Thrones. You have gorgeous companions like Jenna Coleman, Billy Piper, and Karen Gilligan, who played Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
He's basically an alien that has a box that can travel anywhere through time and space. He goes back in time, deals with our history, our future, other planets.
3.
All of that. It's
2,
really like a Star Wars,
1.
Star Trek nerd show.
Done. All right. So we've had our 3 in there. We've had. Mark Brooks says, boo, we should have standards in geekdom. It's garbage. Please don't kill me, geekdom. Ashley's just basically just loving everybody on this right now because she's basically saying she just, in general. And my wife, Christina, says there's a TARDIS. Apparently Alicia still wants to love me because I'm Justin Bieber, but, which, again, I can't, to be honest with you, I think she's got the most compelling argument out of everybody, right? Unless she's insulting me at the exact same time. All right, so this is what we're going to do.
If I knew a Justin Bieber song, but I can't come up with one.
This is what we're going to do. Now, we're going to keep you on for the next 5 minutes or so. And in that 5-minute time, Keith, we're going to start again with you from the top. I want to give you one reason why your show is better than the other 2 that they said. And then I want you to give one reason why you think one of the other 2 selections might be a better choice. I want to hear your opinion. Pick one of the 2. And
Wait, you want me to pick while they're is a better choice?
I want you to do
Or why mine is better than theirs?
both. I want you to do why yours is better than the two that they selected.
Okay,
But then I
yeah,
also
can do
want you to
that.
say. But then I also want you to pick one of the two between the ones that they. So they said Archer and Doctor Who. I want you to pick one of the two.
All right, that's no problem at all.
All right. So start us off and go.
All right, well, here's the deal. You're talking about Doctor Who, which has been around for 50 years. The problem is, that show, you can't even watch the first 25 years of the show because BBC didn't even keep the show. They recorded over it. Archer is nothing but a spy version of Family Guy. It's two-dimensional characters where you don't care about them. Here's Stranger Things. Stranger Things, it's the first season. You can get in on the ground floor and watch this show as it grows. It's going to be amazing.
Okay.
And I'll save the rest of the time for everyone else.
Well, all right. Well, that it actually was pretty impressive. If you had to pick between Archer and Doctor Who, which one would you go with?
Oh, I'd go Doctor Who.
Excellent. All right, Jack, you were going to be up next. Same thing. Give me one reason why Archer is better than Stranger Things and Doctor Who, and then if you had to pick between Stranger Things and Doctor Who, let me know.
Well, the second part's going to be tough. The first part isn't. Doctor Who, while I love it, it is a monster of the week, nonsensical show that is fun, but if you watch the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes and you take a pee for the entire rest 20 minutes, you will have really missed nothing. Stranger Things, I have to say, is fantastic, but I think it's her 2016 fad of the year, and the second season will bomb harder than something probably inappropriate. So I think Archer is superb because you don't have to think about it, but it's sarcastic, it's witty, it really is fun with absolutely every episode, and you laugh till you pee your pants because they're so hilariously wrong and insensitive.
If you had to pick between Doctor Who and Stranger Things.
If I had to pick between the two, though, this is tough because I loved them both, Stranger Things and Doctor Who, but I would have to pick Doctor Who because I could watch it for 4 months straight without eating, sleeping, or doing anything else important.
Okay.
Because it's been on
You
for
don't
50
do anything
years.
else important anyway.
Oh.
I play with alligators for a living, so yeah.
All right, Brian, you again, you had the challenge of being the anchor in all this. Give us the reason why Doctor Who over Stranger Things and Archer, and then if you had to pick between Archer and Stranger Things, who would you go with?
Well, I haven't seen Stranger Things, so I can't really say anything about it. But how many shows are amazing the first season, by the third season they're horrible, and by the fifth season they're canceled? Archer, fantastic show if you want to watch Charlie Sheen pretend to be James Bond. He's an alcoholic womanizer that does the same thing every week. I slept with somebody else, and now I'm going to sleep with this person, but I'm a spy that tells everybody that I'm a spy, so I'm obviously a great spy.
Okay.
Yes, that's pretty much my take on those two shows. And if I had to pick one, I haven't seen Stranger Things, so I'd have to go with Archer.
Okay. All right. I want to thank my panelists because they were awesome. We are going to confer, the three of us now. So you guys are free to go. I thank you for joining us. And if anybody wants to get in touch with them, I'm sure go through our Facebook page. I don't know if you really want to give out your personal Facebook pages. Brian, I know you're on Twitter. So if anybody wants to find you on Twitter, that would be harmless and fun. But we want to thank you guys. Now the three of us are gonna huddle up behind the scenes. And we're going to debate the three of us here, and we're going to figure out which one we think is the best out of the three. The best arguments, that's what it comes down to. Now, my wife wants to keep them on, but we're going to take them off. I apologize. But when we come back, we're going to figure it out now. Well, not now. In 30 seconds.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Hi, this is Rob Kay.
And I'm Callie Alpert.
And we're hosts of The Rob and Callie Show. Are you looking for a show that talks about real stuff like life, love, the pursuit of being yourself?
Then you have come to the right place, because we cover topics ranging from chivalry to gratitude to your relationship with money and everything in between.
So listen to us on The Rob and Callie Show, Tuesdays, 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
Welcome back. Secrets of the Sire. If you enjoyed the music, you could actually download it. We have it right on the Patreon page. That song is called "Command the Room." I was actually listening to it over the weekend. It was one of those. And then I messaged all my bandmates and was like, "We need to get back together and play." And I never got anything back from them. So, well, I'm sure they'll do that. Now, Mark Brooks says he can read lips, so he might have been cluing in on the conversation. But the best part is you don't know what Sam was saying back. But I want to thank our guests. That was actually pretty awesome. And yes, Christina Dolce, will have them on again at some point. Brian, especially because he's a Patreon backer now. So he's definitely, that's it. I mean, Brian's the man right there. I think he's going to win this thing. But yeah, if you want to become a patron, it's $2 it's actually, you could pledge for as little as a quarter a show. $1 will get you in, will get you a lot of great information, a lot of great posts. It'll give you access to all of our archives. Really great stuff. So definitely check us out. Go to michaeldolce.com. I am your host, Michael Dolce. All right. So we've had a chance to confer here. I've got Rob Kay and I've got Sam Leibowitz, in backstage. So it's the three of us here. And yes, the ladies who do things want to come on too. Absolutely. I will invite Alishka from Russia. She was pretty cool. She can come on the show anytime.
Yeah, no, you got 6 guys talking about this stuff. Where are the women?
Well, no, we got women listening in as well too. So they're Ashley loves everything, and Ashley loves every single show that was named and all the participants. So we have no clear-cut opinion from her.
She just loves everybody.
Christina loves Southern Charm. That was her vote. Mark Brooks, for what it's worth, from what I could gather, who is on right now, was a big fan of Archer. So so the fan pull. So chime in. I want to hear your thoughts. Espada Primera Stark is on our Periscope feed. Which show is better, Doctor Who, Archer, and or Stranger Things? All right. So Sam, we were talking about it backstage. I'm going to go to you real quick. My initial thought, and this is, Ashley says, not Archer, it sucks. So she's off, she's off the argument bandwagon. Now, there's two thoughts to this, and we were actually talking about this, right? It's which show do we like better, or which argument was actually better? And that's kind of the cool part about it, right?
Right.
So we kind of have to weigh this in. We have to go a little bit more. Now, I haven't seen any of them. I've seen one episode of Archer. That was the one show I've seen. I've seen an episode. So I do like it. Stranger Things looks very interesting. I'm kind of, piqued of interest to see that. And Doctor Who, like you said, has been around for 50 years, so I should watch it at some point.
And there's actually, I was at a Doctor Who themed cafe up in Beacon, New York, just a couple of weekends ago. It's very cool. They had a TARDIS for the bathroom. It was great.
Wow. All right.
And Doctor Who was playing on a big screen.
What's the deal with the TARDIS? It's like Superman's phone booth, right?
No, it's more than it's like humongous. It's like, you go inside it and it's like this thing is humongous inside. How do you fit
Is that what she said? No, I don't think that was in this particular case. All right, so Sam, if you had to pick the argument that worked.
Yeah, I think it was.
We had Keith was number 1 with Stranger Things. We had Jack with number 2 as Archer, and we had Brian was number 3 with Doctor Who.
Keith and Brian and Jack.
Actually, I'll do a little padding here. We'll do a little for anybody who missed the earlier segment here. I mean, the arguments that Keith made was it's everything great from the 80s and down to the music, down to actors acting the part, new actors on the scene, almost like a Goonies cast. Awesome. Mark said, I can't believe no one brought up Game of Thrones or Walking Dead. We're going to talk about those shows, but not on this show. This show we're doing a show I haven't watched because that was kind of the fun part of this. But we're going to do a Game of Thrones versus Walking Dead because these throwdowns are always fun. And I'm sure what I'd love to do if we do Game of Thrones versus Walking Dead is we'll bring on our Game of Thrones expert, Christina Dolce, and we'll bring on, I'm actually friends with one of the guys on the Walking Dead comics, so I'll try to get him on and we'll do a little Game of Thrones versus Walking Dead. Game of Thrones would not win easily, though. Christina says it would win easily. I don't think it would, but again, we'll save that for another time. Okay. Keith's argument, again, everything great about the 80s thrown into one show. Awesome, including the music. Jack's argument, which I thought was really, really good, not necessarily his first argument was enticing and intriguing. Right. His second argument, though, as to why it's better than the other shows, specifically Stranger Things, is Stranger Things just a fad? Right. See, and this is the one thing, right? I mean, we don't necessarily know whether or not Stranger Things, now, could it be Heroes? Remember how great Heroes was for 1 year, and then it just sunk immediately. It's only got one season out, so... Right,
but we're judging things on what's out now.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter if it's only the first season is good and the rest sucks.
Correct.
That's what we have to go by.
Jersey Jedi's argument, which was a great. At the same time, there's a constantly changing cast, which I do like. I do know that about Doctor Who. I think that's really great. And I also think that having great looking companions is also a plus. Absolutely. And he backed the Patreon page like literally right before we went on.
That's a tough
very
one. That's
compelling.
A tough one. Yeah.
And you know what, Mark Brooks, great point. Same True Detective season 2. Season 1 of True Detective was unbelievable. True Detective season 2 left a lot to be desired. So, all right. So anyway, who do you think? What do you got?
I have to go with the Patreon backer.
Sam goes Doctor Who. Sam goes Doctor Who. All right. I'm going to jump off the mic real quick. We're going to go to our engineer of the day, Rob K., and here he goes.
What's up, everybody? First of all, great debate. I want to say the line of the debate was the fact that they've erased over all the old Doctor Who tapes. I thought that was great. Brings me back to VHS or Betamax, if you want to go back that far. I mean, I really like, especially Archer. It's one of my favorite shows, but I got to go with Stranger Things and Keith because I haven't seen it, and anything that mixes Spielberg with Stephen King and 80s music, I'm in. It's something to watch.
I gotta be honest with you. I am excited to see Stranger Things. I want to see Stranger Things. I don't really want to watch Doctor Who. I gotta be honest. I've tried and I've wanted to. So what I'm gonna do, actually, in the spirit of all drinking games, is I'm gonna go with Jack. And what we're gonna have is what's known as a flip-off.
Ooh.
It's a flip-off! Here's the thing. What a flip-off basically is, if anybody has ever played Flip Cup, if everybody's ever played Survivor Flip Cup. Now, Survivor Flip Cup is a drinking game. We don't condone any alcohol use if you're under 21. If you're over 21, go at it. If it's under 21, just drink water. It's really fun. You have a shot in a cup. It's a plastic cup. You drink said cup. You flip said cup. Cup flips over. Again, this is radio, so it's really tough for me to describe. I'm doing it in hand motions, but it basically flips itself over and stays put on the table. At such point, the next person goes. If you have a 5-on-5 or a 4-on-4, it goes down a line. The first line to win wins that particular round. They have to vote somebody off, and eventually you get down to 1 or 2 people versus 1 or 2 people, and then eventually you get down to 1 versus 1. Now, what ends up happening is if you both flip the cup at the same time and it both lands, actually, when we get into that, if you get down to a point where there is only where everyone votes off someone off their team but can't quite figure out who to vote off, you have a flip-off. You have all 3 people go at once, and whoever is the last one standing loses. It's a flip-off. It's a really great thing. I'm flipping you off right now is what Mark Brooks said, which is awesome. The flip-off that we are going to have here, and I just came up with this right now, so I don't really even know how we would even do that now, is, Sam, give me in 10 seconds why you think yours is the best one. And can we bring in an outside judge? Can we actually have an outside judge come in here?
I don't know if you can convince her to come on, but why? Because it's a classic.
Okay, we've got that. Rob, give me a counter. Actually, you know what we can do for the flip off though is, no, we just did that, I guess. All right, give me why it's better than the other two, real quick again.
Just because it's so innovative and anything about the 80s that they're bringing back in a very creative way is cool.
All right, I'm going to go with Archer because I think Archer is awesome, and I think it's a really funny show, and I've seen it before, and it's really great. And I just really wanted to do a flip off. We're going to go to our Facebook. We actually have 3 people on Facebook right now. We have maybe 4. Mark Brooks, I know your vote is Archer. Christina Dolce, what is your vote? And Ashley Haikai, what is your vote? And Ashley already said no Archer, so Archer's out for that. So we have 1 vote for Archer from Mark Brooks. Do we have anybody on Periscope? I know we have 1 view. Oh, we have Jersey Jedi on Periscope right now, so you can't vote again. This has really been this is tough. I'm gonna say to binge watch. I'll go Stranger Things. Oh, Christina goes Doctor Who. So actually, I guess it all comes down to. Oh, Espada Primera Stark says Stranger Things. We've got
Stranger Things.
We've got a vote for Stranger Things. We've got a vote for Archer. We've got a vote for Doctor Who. So we actually have another flip off. At Hoses Mar just joined us. At Hoses Mar, who just joined us. If you had to pick between Doctor Who, Archer, or Stranger Things, which TV show would you pick as the best one? And I'm waiting for Ashley to chime in because she would be a deciding vote as well too. And if not, if we come up against break, I'm just going to pick the winner. It's the fun part about having your own show. You kind of just basically be able to do whatever you want.
Right, make up
all
the
right,
rules
so
as you
we're
go.
waiting to hear from people. It's all 3. Who then? Stranger. All right. It's all 3. No, we got Stranger. I know. No, Espada Primera Stark. You went with Stranger. Christina Dolce went with Doctor Who. Mark Brooks went with Archer. I'm half off camera. Yes, I understand that. But you don't need to see my face to hear my voice. That's the best part. All right. We're coming up against 2 minutes here. We're going to chime in here. If anybody has anything else, any more comments. I enjoyed Stranger Things, Mary Shannon Human. You are the deciding vote. Stranger Things is the winner. Yay! We thank all audience participation. It's kind of neat. I mean, we're kind of doing this on the fly, so I want to thank all of our guests. I want to thank all of our commenters and posters. Oh, Ashley's going with Archer, but she kind of came. Look, you took too long to come in with Archer. I'm being bribed with booze and cheese. I'm going to say your vote doesn't count. I'm going to say that you are an influenced. Yeah, you're much more influenced.
A partial.
Yes, there you go. All right, so this has been a lot of fun. When we come back, we're going to spin the racks. We're going to go through all the news. We're going to talk about my favorite show outside of the 3 we actually talked about. It's coming back tonight, season 20. That should be a good enough lead-in for anybody.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
TalkingAlternative.com.
Welcome back. Secrets of the Sire. We're wrapping it up. I want to thank all my guests, Jack, Keith, and Brian. You did great. All the commenters, Mark Brooks, Mary Shannon Human, Christina Dolce, Ashley Hakai. It's just a little fun thing. I just like saying it. I just like calling her that. I want to thank Espada Primera Stark as well too. That user did some great voting. We have 1 minute left on our poll, which didn't really get as much traction as I'd hoped, but it's okay. Go to @Michael_Dolce. We are debating the best TV shows on air, which next week I'm gonna tackle which Marvel show is the best one on the air right now, and that's what we're going to kind of talk about next week. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining us for that. But we're not done yet. We're actually going to have some fun still. We're going to do some spinning the racks. I have to get one of these days. I definitely have to get the sound effect for spinning the racks. I've actually been testing out a few, and we'll get some more sound because we're growing. As people start pledging the Patreon page, we can actually do things like
you should just go to a comic book store and spin a rack and record the sound.
Yeah, I know, but this was
I know
me
more
trying
work
to get,
for you.
No, not the more work. This is me trying to get more people on the Patreon page. So. If we could go to the Patreon, I could afford a download. I'm trying to weed it over there. But seriously, if you do love the show or enjoying the show or like the show, we definitely. Mark Brooks says Jessica Jones in case I don't make it next week. Well, if you don't make it, we're on iTunes. You can download the podcast via iTunes, via any podcasting, application. We're on Google Play. We're on SoundCloud. So Secrets of the Sire, SIRE. You can't miss it. It's everywhere. And we're actually, like I said, we're growing. We want to grow some more. So I want to thank everyone for that. If you're in the New Jersey area this weekend, check me out at ArtistaCon. I'll be signing some books. I will be drawing some sketches. I'll be working on some stuff while I'm there. And I'm also going to be hosting a panel on breaking into comics from a writer's point of view. And it's on... when you call it's the Jack is saying I'm joining Patreon right now, but see, Jack, if you'd gotten in before that, you would have won. You would have won the debate. See how that works? All right, I want to talk about real quick my favorite show or one of my favorite shows, and anybody who watches the show actually can kind of tell. I kind of model this show after it in a way, and it's South Park. South Park is coming back. It's the 20th season. Last season was one of the best. One of the best seasons that they've ever done. And we definitely, I don't know if you guys saw it at all, but it had PC police. It had a commentary on everything from Trump to just, check your privilege at the door, bro. And Mark Brooks, you'll definitely be on the show. Maybe we'll get you on New York Comic Con time. You can come up to the studio. We're in New York City. But anyway, getting back to South Park, I mean, it is comprehensively one of the best shows. How great is the show? I actually was able to, I wanted my wife to see something because the election this year is such a, S show, for lack of a better word, right? And I said to her, I was like, you got to see this episode of South Park all about the election, and they have to choose between a douche and a turd sandwich. So basically the South Park. So PETA protests the South Park cows. Because of cows. And so the school needs to change their logo. And at that point, they'd have to decide between a douche and a turd sandwich because Cartman thought it'd be really funny to write in a douche, and Kyle thought it'd be really funny to write in a turd sandwich. So now there's this great election going on in the school, and they essentially now Stan, meanwhile, is like, I don't want to vote. I don't want to vote, period, and that's it. And that's, and meanwhile, so there's this whole funny or die thing, or sorry, not funny or die, vote or die thing that was going on too as well. It was an amazing show. And the lesson at the end of it is you're always picking between a douche and a turd sandwich. And I thought, what an amazing message. And it's amazing how it gets to that message over the course of just a hilarious 30-minute episode. And the best part is, it's still relevant today. That episode you could watch right now, and it's like, holy shit, that's this election. That was in 2004. That episode was in 2004. That's how brilliant that show is. That's how brilliant Trey Parker and Matt Stone are. Just unbelievable. Tonight's episode, Rebooting the National Anthem. That's the title of the show. Amazing. My hat's off to him. Welcome at Kristen Alexis. Welcome to a bunch of people. So, South Park, Mark, got to run. Yes, great show. Please come back every Wednesday, 8 p.m. We are streaming live on Facebook. We talk about everything movies, comics, TV, pop culture. We'll have you on the show as well, buddy. And we'll also probably have my wife on again, too, which is always great, too. So, at Kristen Alexis, hello as well. We do this, we Periscope the show every week too, so at Michael_Dolce. It's fun, be a part of the conversation. We love talking about this, stuff in general. We had some comments too, which are really great. We've had comments on previous shows too, and I wanted to kind of touch base on those before we get into our little news and notes section of the day. One of the things that people definitely had a lot of opinion about the race swapping, Mary Jane taking over, being interracial, and And someone again made the point, would you ever have a white Black Panther? No, you wouldn't.
Right.
But at the same time, there's arguments, for the intermingling of diversity into this, and depending on where they do it. That was my comment, and how much of how much is it a publicity stunt versus an actual adding value to it. That's the kind of stuff that we're looking for. Suicide Squad 2, we had somebody chime in on episode 31, and they basically said they just enjoyed it, plain and simple. And now Suicide Squad, which we debated and talked about for many weeks, look, at the end of the day, it did better than Batman v Superman. Not necessarily dollar-wise, but in profit-wise, and just in general, it didn't fail miserably as many people thought Batman v Superman did. There was no expectation for it, so good stuff in general for that too. All right, speaking of Batman v Superman, there was a really cool Easter egg. That's the one compliment that you got to give these guys who did Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder. Look, these guys are really big fans of the universe. There's no question about it. They really love the universe. They had an Easter egg where one of the scenes where Bruce Wayne is downstairs, there's a map of Ontario in the corner of the shot of the scene. I mean, it's there, and somebody actually went online and noticed that is the home birthplace of Joe Shuster, who co-created Superman. And the guy even said, I forget exactly what the name of the user was. He actually said, he's like, that can't be an Easter egg, but it is the birthplace of Joe Shuster. And the on-set photographer actually went to Zack Snyder, and Zack Snyder said, finally, somebody noticed.
Right.
So these little tidbits, I mean, you can there's a comic book resources article that just has a list of all the cool Easter eggs that are in that movie. We never actually really talked about the Easter eggs.
Yeah, I saw that article when you posted it, and I looked through it, and I go, oh my God, I didn't realize there were so many Easter eggs in that movie.
Yeah, there were. I mean, there's a ton. And I love the one that I didn't realize was an obscure one as well, too, was the Perry White screaming out, "It's not 1938 anymore." And in the heat of the movie, it didn't even click to me. But obviously, 1938 is when Superman first debuted. Right. So it was a kind of a cool little nod to them. The obviously the easy Easter egg was the Robin costume. Mm-hmm. But the question is which Robin is it though? Because there's 4 Robins, and there's actually a 5th if you count the Dark Knight Returns, where it was the female Robin. So which Robin is it that got killed by the Joker? And is it the same Joker that was played by Heath Ledger, who's now played by, Jared Leto? Are they keeping that continuity? I mean, you just don't even think that there's an actual, you just doubt whether there's a cohesiveness to it. So, but again, fun little Easter eggs. Go check out, if you check out our website, secretsofthesire.com, check out our Facebook page. We posted an article. Go check out the article. It's the quote-unquote last Easter egg from Batman v Superman has been discovered, so go check that out. Another thing in the news today was that Zack Snyder released a photo of a new battle suit for Dark Knight, for Batman, who's going to be in Justice League. So that was kind of a neat little thing. Another little tidbit that came out too. This is the fun part about doing our show. There's and you realize, we couldn't do a show like this 10 years ago. Like, we really couldn't, right? I mean, there'd be basically no news. Now it's like colossal, it's like every day there's a bit of news. Turner actually won the licensing for all the Star Wars films, the new Star Wars films. So TBS and TNT are going to be able to air those, and they're going to have them on demand. Again, obviously, it's going to probably go to HBO first or something like that. But basic cable, TNT and TBS. But meanwhile, you actually had Adam Driver talking about the script for the next episode of Star Wars, Episode 8, and Rian Johnson, who did, it just slipped my mind. He did, he did that movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis, and I can't remember what it is. You know exactly what it is, and it was just in my head, and then it was just out of my head. Rob's going to help me out with the title of that, and if anybody online is there and can help me out with the time with that, that would be great as well too. But Looper, thank you, thank you, Espada Primera Stark, thank you so much for jumping in. Yeah, so he actually wrote a script, and the first thing that Adam Driver compared it to is Empire Strikes Back, which of course makes everyone giddy, I would imagine, because actually, Sam, your favorite's Return of the Jedi, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi.
Which, to be honest with you, the first half of that movie is just unbelievably incredible. Jabba the Hutt, the whole thing in there. Mm-hmm. So I could see why Return of the Jedi would be there for most people, including myself. Empire Strikes Back, Hey, we'll debate which is the best Star Wars movie.
No. For me, it's The Return of the Jedi because of the scene with Luke and Vader and the Emperor at the end of the movie. That
incredible
scene does
scene.
it for me
Incredible
for
scene.
all the movies.
I was really young, so the Ewoks didn't bother me. I guess they bothered a lot of people, but at the same time, that is exactly the kind of stuff that again, that's what debates like we had tonight are all about, is having the fun and doing all that stuff. But he immediately said it reminded him of Empire Strikes Back, but not necessarily because it's like darker. He actually specifically said like, ooh, the first thing that comes to mind is like, oh, it's too dark. No. It reminds him of Empire Strikes Back because it has this tone. It just has a different tone. And look, I thought the first movie, I thought the reboot, The Force Awakens, awesome. I thought it was a great starting point for us to go forward, kind of wash the bad taste of the prequels out of our mouth and move forward. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really exciting. And last but not least, Alan Moore, who is synonymous with the comic book industry, is calling it quits from comics, as reported by The Guardian. Moore will be retiring from comics following the completion of his latest work, Jerusalem. He said, I have about 250 pages of comics left in me, and those will probably be very enjoyable. There are a couple issues of an Avatar book that I'm working on, Avatar Press, part of H.P. Lovecraft work I've been working on recently. There's another Leave Extraordinary Gentlemen series he's looking to complete. After that, although I may do a little odd little comics piece at some point in the future, I am pretty much done with comics. I do believe him. He's getting up there in age. He created Watchmen, and I will debate anybody why Watchmen is the greatest graphic novel of all time. I don't think there's anything that even comes close to touching it. All right, we have had a tremendous show, and I want to thank my guests once again, Keith, Jack, and Brian. We'll have them on again. We'll do a little debate. I think this is just a lot of fun, and it's these kind of like, fun off-the-cuff things that really get the show moving. So we're going to be back here next week. We're going to start talking about a couple different things. We'll talk about little Emmys, because the Emmys are coming off. They're going to be on Sunday. We're going to be talking Marvel TV Universe, because we've got Luke Cage to look forward to. What's the best Marvel TV show out there? Send me your comments during the week. I'll post something on our Facebook page. Send me the comments. I'll read them on air. This has been Secrets of the Sire. I am your host, Michael Dolce. See you next week.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.